Tonight, we're witnessing an unprecedented crisis in Los Angeles, not just the fires, though they're devastating enough, but the shocking revelation that Governor Newsom, he slashed $100 million from fire prevention right before this catastrophe. Now, as homes turn to ash, we've obtained satellite imagery showing something the mainstream media won't touch: multiple fires erupting simultaneously across the city. The LA Times owner just admitted endorsing Mayor Bass was a mistake, and nearly 60,000 residents are demanding her immediate recall. But here's the real question. While California burns, why are its leaders prioritizing a $50 million program to resist Trump? Now, America used to be that California was the Golden State, a land of opportunity and prosperity, but just like their mismanaged forests, their financial foundation is burning to the ground. While homes are reduced to ash, your retirement savings could face a similar fate if you don't take action. Smart money is moving to precious metals, a proven safe haven during times of crisis. So call my friends at Global Gold Investments right now at 888-700-4148 and receive their new 2025 Protect Your Wealth and Retirement Guide absolutely free. Mention Next News for a complimentary portfolio analysis from America's leading precious metals experts. It's linked down below. And remember to mention Gary Franchi. Okay, this just in. Yeah, you know what's so funny about this whole thing? Just the other day, actually it was 5 days ago, I posted this picture, and it showed Joe Biden standing upon a pile of ash, an AI-generated image. It's, my editorial interpretation of the failure of the Biden administration. And, yeah, well, I guess this art imitates life, or is it life imitates art? I don't know, but here it is, the moment.
And I want to be clear, we're not waiting until those fires are over to start helping the victims. We're getting them help right now, as you all know. People impacted by these fires are going to receive one-time payment of $770, one-time payment, so they can quickly purchase things like water, baby formula, and prescriptions. So far, nearly 6,000 survivors have registered to do just that, and $5.1 million has gone out.
Okay, so I guess I was pretty close. I said 750. Joe Biden said 770. Yeah, that's basically it. And the Newsom body count climbs to 24 as Los Angeles wildfires rage out of control. Intensifying winds are fueling the inferno while Gavin Newsom's failed policies leave Californians to burn. This is not nature. This is negligence, and the blood is on his hands. Now we have this. This is just 7 hours ago. The LA Times owner, Dr. Patrick Soon Xiong, says it was a mistake for his paper to endorse Karen Bass, says competent people should be elected, not professional politicians. Let's listen in.
We admit that. First of all, we'll accept some blame, right? So at the LA Times, we endorse Karen Bass. I think right now in front, that's a mistake, and we admit that. So I thought it was very important early on for me to come out, and I think we were one of the few to say competence matters. Got like maybe 20, 23 million views to show how that was really dear to the heart of most people, whether you're right or left. And it's an interesting thing is that maybe we should think about how we elect people on the basis of, did they actually run a job? Did they actually make a payroll? Do they understand what it is? And rather than having professional politicians whose only job is really to run for office. There's nothing, I'm not trying to be disparaging, but I think we're at the stage now of the nation and the world, and there's many things we'll talk about even in healthcare, that you really need people to understand, well, how it affects the man in the street, how it affects the working type of person. And I think President Trump in this election has understood that, and he's become truly a Republican Party, as you said, has become the Democratic Party in terms of addressing the problems of the man in the street. So competence absolutely matters, and I'm glad that that's been taken up as almost a meme now, that competence matters.
It's almost a meme now. Well, they have basically withdrawn their support for Karen Bass. And now we're learning that now 40 arrested in the Palisade Fire evacuation zone. Look at those glorious mugshots of all those crooks. Not quite 40 in that picture, but, the number is going to continue to rise. Los Angeles DA has announced charges against looters, including stealing an Emmy Award.
Hochman, who are listening to Sheriff Robert Luna. They're talking a little bit about what his department is doing as well. Again, this has been a multi-agency effort here to try and keep people safe amid these disastrous wildfires. What you did hear a little bit earlier there from the newly elected Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman is his effort here to keep his word, to keep his promise to the people of Southern California that he will prosecute people that are taking advantage of this situation. He noted that there are now 10 people facing charges. 9 of them in connection to looting and 1 in connection to arson. Now, this connection to arson, I think it's important to highlight here. This is an incident that he says happened in Azusa, California. So it isn't connected right now to some of these big fires that we saw immediately. We know that initially they were investigating the Kenneth fire that sparked off near the Calabasas area. They were investigating that as arson as well. And he noted here that that person who is facing these arson charges is looking at potentially 9 years in prison. But looting is certainly top of mind for so many people in this area. I want to bring in ABC's Matt Rivers. He's out here in Altadena, not that far from me. And Matt, if you were able to hear authorities just talk about what they're dealing with here in Altadena, they noted here that there are several people that are facing charges in connection to looting incidents that happened out here in Altadena. And he noted one in particular that some people went into 2 different homes. And Matt, at one point, he says they stole an Emmy Award from someone. I mean, this is just so offensive to people here who are just literally picking up the mess of their lives.
Yeah, and it's a reminder that we are in Los Angeles when it is an Emmy Award that gets stolen.
Yeah.
But, you know, each one of these houses, still, even though there's all this destruction, Kana, behind me, house after house, almost there's nothing left. It has not stopped people from trying to come in and pick through the rubble here to see what they can find and take advantage of the situation. I will say, having been out here now for the better part of a week, here every single day, as I know you've been, the law enforcement presence is immense. In fact, just as we were coming on here, 2 people from the FBI just drove by. Right before that, it was the sheriffs. We had to pass by National Guard troops. So when we're hearing officials say there is 0 tolerance for this kind of thing, it seems like they're backing up the words with actions, both with those prosecutions and also with the amount of resources that have been deployed in and around this area. We've been here in the middle of the night. We've been here in the middle of...
Someone stole an Emmy Award. Here is Elon Musk. And he has deployed Starlink. This looks like a live stream that he gave. Let's take a look.
I'm here with the fire command team at the Palisades Fire. Hey guys. Let's see. So this is I was asked if we could bring some more Starlinks here. So we brought some more Starlinks here, and I'm just here with the team, and they're going to provide a briefing of the Palisades Fire. See you.
Nice. Elon Musk dropping off some more Starlinks in the Palisades. Amid historic wildfires, California Democrats decide to prioritize a $50 million deal to resist Trump. Talk about misplaced priorities. Sarah Carter reporting that. And then we have this from the New York Post. California Governor Gavin Newsom cut $100 million for fire prevention before the deadly wildfires. Let's dig a little bit deeper into the New York Post, see what they had to say. Embattled California Governor Gavin Newsom slashed funding earmarked for fighting wildfires by more than $100 million this fiscal year. A review of the state's budget found the lefty polls fiscal 2025 budget signed in June eliminated $101 million from 7 wildfire and forest resilience programs. That is according to Newsweek. Holy cow. Included cutting $5 million from California Fire, now $129 million budget for fuel reduction teams, including funds used by the state's National Guard for vegetation management work aimed at reducing threats of fires igniting and spreading. So there you have it. Gavin Newsom, $100 million slashed from the budget. And look what happens when you slash that money. The city goes up in flames. And then we have this, A.G. Hamilton, absolutely shameful. California had the highest taxes in the country. The reason they have budget shortfalls is they have incompetent leaders with backwards priorities. It has nothing to do with people not paying their fair share. Eric Abinante said, posting about Maxine Waters, California rep, one of my favorite representatives in California, talking with with my goodness. Anyway, take a look.
Politics. Instead of this business about Democrats or Republicans, get the information up on the screens. Where can you go in Altadena? Where can you go in Pasadena? Where can you go in Malibu? Where can you go in the Palisades? Where can you go in San Fernando Valley? They don't know. They're looking for help, and that's what we should be dedicated to.
I agree.
And you too.
We are doing it. We will continue to do it. I think you are right. However, it can also be seen that you don't want to talk about the politics because it's on your party, because the mayor and the governor are Democrats who arguably should have had the people in Altadena better prepared for this. They should have the resources more available so they don't need me to put them up because the state has been doing the work. And that if they've been preparing the situations for wildfires like they were made aware of, instead of cutting deals with PG&E and insurance companies, they would have prepared the state. That is not unfair criticism. Is it too soon? Maybe.
Wow, Chris Cuomo. What's up, man? Chris Cuomo, go for it.
But the questions are real.
Let me tell you something. I'm not in the business of protecting anybody. And I think that my work over the years that I've been involved have been absolutely on point in dealing what has to be dealt with in order to help the people. First thing you got to understand is services cost money. And we should be willing to get the richest people in this country, the richest 1% that is protected, make sure they pay their fair taxes so that we can have the money to provide the services. With that money and with those resources, the people who have been selected or elected to do the job should do the job. I don't care who it is. It could be Democrat, it could be Republican, it could be whatever. But the fact of the matter is, we all should have heavy hearts right now.
Of course we have heavy hearts, but you're going to say, oh, the richest should pay their fair share. What's fair, Maxine? What are you paying? And then we have this, Elon Musk just 24 hours ago, DEI means people will die. The LA water chief, who was paid $750,000 a year, did you hear what she said? She said, what attracted me most of the role was social equity. That is what was the most important thing for this woman, the LA water chief. It wasn't about making sure the reservoirs were filled. It wasn't making sure there was enough water pressure for the fire department. It's that social equity was upheld.
And you call it powered by equity, and I know that it's been really important for the DWP to put an equity lens on everything.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the number one thing that attracted me to this role. Coming from the communities that I come, seeing what I've seen through my career in utilities and through the military. I've been in the Coast Guard 19 and a half years now, so I got 6 more months to qualify for my 20 years, which was my original goal.
Wow, congratulations, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. It's important to me that everything we do, it's with an equity lens and social justice and making sure that we right the wrongs that we've done in the past from an infrastructure perspective and that we involve the community in that process. And this utility is serious about it, is authentic about it. And so I'm just super excited to be part of that movement.
You call it?
Yeah, we're excited. We have authentic equity in our water pressure distribution efforts. How ridiculous is that? Like, why does water distribution through piping systems in Los Angeles and reservoir retention water have to be viewed through an equity lens? What does that even mean? That is why Los Angeles is on fire right now. Because of morons. Oh, man. Gavin Newsom, look at this. Look at this footage. Look at this. My goodness. Gavin Newsom signs executive order. You hear about this? He signs an executive order suspending environmental permitting and review requirements so LA residents can build their homes faster. Good, Colin Roy says. Now keep it that way. And, you know, it makes me wonder if Gavin Newsom saw the criticisms that we played on this show the other day. The comedian Oh man, I can't even think straight right now. Let's listen here.
Home after home after home, gone, with little left but the smoke rising from burned-out buildings. The ferocious winds that ignited 5 major fires were lighter on Thursday, but additional rounds of Santa Ana winds are possible from Thursday night into early next week, so the fire danger is not over.
The fire danger is not over. Why can't I think of it right now? The comedian, I think I commented on this piece here. Anyway, let's keep going here. This is a nice photo op a day ago. Petition now is underway for the immediate recall of Los Angeles Mayor garners nearly 60,000 signatures on the city's gross mismanagement of wildfires. A petition seeking immediate recall of Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass for gross mismanagement in Southern California is underway. 6 wildfires burning in communities around Los Angeles have charred more than 35,000 acres, burned thousands of businesses and homes to the ground, and killed at least 12 people as of this report. And there's their nice little photo op pretending to do something as the city burns to the ground. And this is an interesting little moment that was captured, I guess, on a trail camera. Ryan Saavedra posted this guy, Benny Oren. Entire account has now been deleted. And this, you can see, it appears to be one of the moments when the wildfire began, and the trail camera catches these people running away from the fire. Now, they say that they didn't do it. It wasn't them. They went and reported it. I mean, who knows the truth? But there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. Here's the video of them running away from the fire. Trail cam, and it's actually somebody recording this moment.
Dude, it's catching up. Dude, it's catching up.
And they're like laughing. This is from TikTok. It says, new footage seems to show the first moments after the Palisades fire started, shows the exact starting location, which appears to be near a trailhead. The original poster says he and his friends were there when the fire started. Looks like he deleted his account because people were saying that he did it. So are these the individuals who started the fire? It's not clear, but at least we apparently have some footage of when it all began. Now here, look at this. Look at this satellite imagery here. This is the satellite imagery. Look at that. All fires starting almost simultaneously at the exact same moment. How does that happen? Do you see this on your screen? Satellite image shows all 3 major fires in LA, California, started at the same exact time. You see that? They all started at the exact same time. If it's not coordinated, it's a hell of a coincidence, right? Now, there is a community note. The fires shown in this video are not the January 2025 fires. That's somebody who made a community note on the post. It has not been validated yet. That's why it's not being shown on Twitter. We do have the ability to see community notes, and that's why we see it. So it has not been vetted yet. Now, listen to what this guy says here. This is the sheriff.
Population, and every conversation we're having about evacuations, that depopulation conversation is continuously coming up. That depopulation conversation is continuously coming up.
A depopulation conversation. Why are they talking? Why was that a Freudian slip? What does he mean by depopulation conversation? Who wants to have a depopulation conversation? And then we got CNN freaking out because the polls are showing most people don't think climate change is responsible for the fires.
Look at the monthly change. I don't think Americans are making this connection. And the way we can see this in right here and now, take a look at the monthly change in Google searches. Look at the searches for wildfire, up 2,400%. My goodness gracious. This is the most amount of people searching for wildfires ever, going back since Google Trends began back in 2004. But look at climate change. Look at the change. It doesn't go hand in hand with wildfires. It's actually down. It's down 9%. And I also looked in California. There has been no increase in the number of searches for climate change. So the bottom line is this. Americans are definitely interested in learning about these wildfires. They're interested in following the news about the wildfires, but they are not making that connection with climate change. That's the bottom line here.
That's a really key metric you're looking at there, the connection. Overall, Americans being worried about climate change. What have we seen over time?
Yeah, you know, we have seen a lot of extreme weather events over the last few decades, right? Hurricanes, heat waves, wildfires. You might expect that Americans worry about climate change would climb. Climate change worry a lot. You go back to 1991, it was 35%. Now, it was a little bit higher in 2007, a little bit higher in 2022. But look at this. In 2023, the last time we have data, 39%. That is not statistically significantly different from this 35% back in 1991. So despite all these extreme weather events, Americans are really no more worried about climate change than they were, what is that, now nearly 35 years ago? I mean, there's just no real trend line here, Mr. Berman.
Because nobody believes you guys anymore. Nobody at all. You guys keep screaming. Yeah, by this time we should be underwater, right? According to the inventor of the internet, Al Gore. And then we have this. This is from Speaker Johnson saying there should be conditions on any aid Congress approves for California. If there aren't conditions, the LA and California governments will undoubtedly use much of the money to fight Trump and fund illegals. Listen.
Are you open to providing aid to California without any conditions at all?
I think we've got to have a serious conversation about that. Obviously, there's been water resource mismanagement, forest management mistakes, all sorts of problems. And it does come down to leadership, and it appears to us that state and local leaders were derelict in their duty in many respects. So that's something that has to be factored in. I think there should probably be conditions on that aid. That's my personal view. We'll see what the consensus is. I haven't had a chance to socialize that with any of the members over the weekend because we've all been very busy, but it'll be part of the discussion for sure.
What about the debt limit increase? What about tying the debt limit increase to it?
There's some discussion about that, but we'll see where it goes.
We will see where it goes. And here is the undocumented climate changer right there. He was getting arrested, citizen's arrest. And then we have this, more than 2 million illegals in California, a city that has provided them shelter, meals, health insurance, and cash. Compadres, get your ass out of bed, pause Netflix, get out from the tax-paid hotels, and offer help to firefighters by cutting lines in those mountains, crucial to stop the fire spread. Here we have it. Look at this fire, man. Unbelievable. And it continues. Here we have Barry Weiss. Torsten Prochnow says, Barry Weiss is absolutely right. California's leaders have abandoned the basics of governance, and the state is suffering because of it. Listen.
Basic. Los Angeles is being governed and the state of California is being governed by people who have lost sight of the basics of governing. Wow. They have lost sight of the idea that we pay you a tax so that you take care of basics for us. And nothing could be more basic than preventing the burning down of, as you just said in your introduction, an area twice the size of Manhattan. Right? It's hard to conceive of how big this is. I woke up to text messages. Almost everyone we know has evacuated their home. We know people that have lost their homes. And the reason that there's so little trust, and the reason that you saw in that clip that mother confronting Gavin Newsom with such rage, is because there's so much that led up to this moment. There was, just to choose one example, in our neighborhood, a middle-class neighborhood in LA, not particularly fancy, the police, if you called them for a robbery, and there were many, many robberies in our neighborhood, they would take an hour, sometimes 2 hours to show up. It had become almost like Brazil. It had become normal for middle-class people, upper middle-class people, to pay for private security, despite the fact that they were paying enormously high taxes already. Wow. So was it the fact that, the city cut the spending in the fire department by $17 million? Was it the fact that they were spending more on homelessness initiatives than on preventing fire? Was it Look, I don't know. What I know is that the broader context in which this fire is happening is a context of total incompetency and leaders who are putting niche luxury issues, ideological issues, over and above the most fundamental things, keeping you and your family safe from crime, keeping you and your family safe from fires.
That's the job.
That's it.
That's the job. That's the job. Gavin Newsom, Gail, she says Newsom is another blatant habitual liar. Doesn't bat an eye when he's caught in those lies. He just doubles down. Example, the video of the lady confronting him when he says he's on the phone with the president. She wants to listen in knowing that there's no cell service. He totally lied to her in that moment. Remember that? And then we have this. Santa Ana under a high alert. Dangerous winds forecast to resume.
All fire severe fire weather conditions will continue through Wednesday. Please be assured that all fire departments and all law enforcement agencies in the area will be prepared. The anticipated winds, combined with low humidities and low fuel moistures, will keep the fire threat in all of Los Angeles County critical.
For the Altadena area, we are in the third day of grid searching. It is a very grim task, and we, unfortunately, every day we're doing this, we're running across the remains of individual community members. That is not easy work, very sad to report, and I believe that work is not only going to continue, but I believe will continue to find remains. So please be patient with us. People are saying, I just want to go look at my house and I want to see what's left. We know that, but we have people literally looking for the remains of your neighbors.
Oh my goodness. How sad. Now, as all this is happening, who can forget what's happening in Western North Carolina? Remember that? The hurricane, the flooding, the disaster that ravaged that region. All those people now enduring a harsh winter in the mountains. And where's FEMA? Oh, FEMA's getting ready to kick all these people out of hotels. This woman, she is pissed. Eric says these people are evil. They need to be held accountable. Appalachia deserves better. They love California so much, they should burn with it. I'm tired of paying for the neglect of California. It burns every year since the land management stopped. Take this country back. Sassafras says, listen to this.
Ooh, for all you bureaucrats in D.C. right now, I want you to listen to me when I say this. Hell hath no fury than a woman scorned, okay? 4 months. 4 freaking months that the people of Tennessee and North Carolina have been fighting to get back up on their feet. They have lost loved ones. They have lost every freaking thing. People are still passing away. They're living in tents in the freezing cold snow. 4 months we've been fighting with y'all. And all you wanted to do is deny. You didn't even show up. There was no media coverage. You threatened to throw us in jail. It's been red tape after red tape after freaking red tape. And right now, I want to tell you how to go to hell 17 different ways from Sunday. I want to cuss you the hell out, but I'm not going to. Because I'm going to be a bigger person and a better person. And I'm going to take every bit of this freaking anger and I'm going to turn it and I'm going to dig my heels so deep into this for my people. You don't know what you just freaking started.
Wow. Yeah, the people of Western North Carolina, they are absolutely pissed. And then we have this moment. Holy cow. Did you guys see this? Gavin Newsom, look at him. He is just giddy with joy. Why is he giddy with joy? Oh, listen.
To move those things. Just talking to Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward. And we'll be just talking to Josh Green, the governor.
Oh, so he's talking to who?
Down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in.
Oh. Hawaiian land speculators. Remember that big fire? Oh, and now Look at how happy he looks. He's overjoyed that these land speculators are coming in and they're about to just completely take over California. Why? Because they got the Smart LA 2028 grid getting ready to lay down. Oh, yes, it's about burn back better. That's the term we should all be talking about. Governor Gavin Newsom signing the executive order suspending the permitting and review process. We got Smart LA. We got Gavin Newsom absolutely giddy about burn back better for this new smart grid. Here's a longer clip of this. With the Olympics due in 2028, an animated Gavin Newsom explains how LA burning down is a fantastic opportunity.
Position and over the course of the next.
And what do they always say? Never let a crisis go to waste, right? Here we go.
Years, Los Angeles will be host to the World Cup and then the Super Bowl and then the Olympics. With this rebuilding effort needing to take place, is LA going to be ready for all of those global events?
My humble position, and it's not just being naively optimistic, that only reinforces the imperative moving quickly, doing in the spirit of collaboration and cooperation. President of the United States, Donald Trump, to his credit, was helpful in getting the Olympics to the United States of America, to get it down here in LA. We thank him for that. This is an opportunity for him to shine, for this country to shine, for California and this community to shine. The opportunity with all of that and all that opportunity and that pride and spirit that comes from not just hosting those three iconic games and venues, but also the opportunity, I think, to rebuild at the same time. And that's why we're already organizing a Marshall Plan. We already have a team of looking and reimagining LA 2.0, and we're making sure everyone's included, not just the folks on the coast, people here that were ravaged by this disaster.
You just said you're organizing a Marshall Plan for the rebuilding of California. What is that Marshall Plan? Tell us about this Marshall Plan.
We're just starting to lay out. I mean, we're still fighting these fires. So we're already talking to city leaders. We're already talking to civic leaders. We're already talking to business leaders and nonprofits. We're talking to labor leaders. We're starting to organize how we can put together a collection of individuals on philanthropy for recovery, how we can organize the region, how we can make sure that we are seeking federal assistance for the Olympics more broadly, but also federal assistance for the recovery efforts, and how we can galvanize the community with folks that love this community to really develop a mindset so that at scale we're dealing with the scope of this tragedy and responding to it at scale with efficiency, like the executive order I talked about, time value of delivering projects, addressing building codes, addressing permitting issues, and moving forward to rebuilding and being more resilient.
There you have it in his own words. They're getting ready for Los Angeles 2.0 already. They're already laying down the blueprints to rebuild. Yeah, and he's already consulting with Hawaii about the land speculators, and he is excited about the prospect of taking advantage of all these properties that have just been destroyed. Smart LA 2028, all on the horizon. And of course, we had that satellite image that showed all of those fires apparently starting at the exact same time. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's getting ready to cash those checks and write those checks and send them out to all the people for $770 a pop. Meanwhile, billions of dollars continue to flow into Ukraine in these final days of the Biden administration. Folks, I don't know what's going on. We got to keep asking the questions. But if you look at this satellite imagery, it is absolutely suspect. Absolutely suspect. We're going to keep asking questions, and we're going to keep demanding answers. We're going to keep holding them accountable. And we're going to just keep praying, folks. Pray for the people of Los Angeles, and do not forget the people of Western North Carolina. Now, look at what's happening in California right now. We have a governor who cut fire prevention funding, a mayor facing recall, mysterious fires erupting simultaneously across LA. The LA Times owner is admittedly that they backed the wrong horse and looters are stealing Emmy Awards while homes burn. But here's what they don't want you to think about. Why are these fires starting at exactly the same time in different locations? Why is Gavin Newsom already talking about building back better before the flames are even out? So tonight's question for our viewers: are these coordinated fires part of a larger agenda to remake Los Angeles? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And suit up in our exclusive MAG Avengers gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com and join the Patriot Revolution.